why not reach out to more people, to a larger audience? And I mean, especially nice when, women come up to you and say that they feel inspired to hit the gym and to work out and to build muscles. And because there's always been like this negative sort of view on women who lift, they end up looking bulky or they end up looking manly. So I just felt like I was breaking all these barriers, and that's when I decided that I would like to reach out to more people.
Hey guys, welcome to today's episode. Today we've got Devika, who's a fitness enthusiast as well as a brand stylist. She's super passionate about building her fitness page as well as keeping herself healthy as possible. We're going to be asking her a couple of questions and learn a bit about her.
Okay, so we're going to start today with just asking you to tell us about your page and how you started it and what inspired you to do so.
Okay, so I have always been inclined towards fitness, and I've been working out. In school, I was involved in a lot of sports activities, and I've just been a fit kid my entire life. But it was only in college in 2014 that, because my schedule was really busy, I didn't get time to work out, and I became really thin. I became weak. I wasn't taking care of my nutrition. And then I ended up getting thyroid, which meant that, I started putting on weight. And that kind of just freaked me out a little bit. And then that's when I decided that I need to get back to fitness. I need to start working out again. So I had a private Instagram account earlier, and I started posting my fitness content, just like regular, videos at the gym. And a lot of people started getting back to me saying that they feel inspired and motivated to work out as well, because they just saw me, going hard at the gym, taking care of my health and all of that. So then I thought, why not reach out to more people, to a larger audience? And I mean, especially nice when, women come up to you and say that they feel inspired to hit the gym and to work out and to build muscles. And because there's always been like this negative sort of view on women who lift, they end up looking bulky or they end up looking manly. So I just felt like I was breaking all these barriers, and that's when I decided that I would like to reach out to more people and make my page public and all of that. So it actually took me a year. So it was only in the last lockdown that I sort of decided that I'm going to go ahead with this, because I'm a really private person. I don't like putting my life. I mean, this is me before. Now my life is out there. But like before, I was an extremely private person. But then I knew this is for the greater good. It's good for me also, because like whenever I get these messages from other people, I feel even more motivated to be a better version of myself. So that's how my whole entire journey started. And it was only the last lockdown, the first lockdown, that I made my page public. Yeah.
Nice. So is that kind of how you using that? Have you built your brand personality around that, like the fact that you were a private person and now you're not? So the things that you are showing to your page, is that something that's kind of that's how your personality is coming through, right? Given that,
yeah, exactly.
So
when I started my page, I wanted to be as authentic as I can be, because I don't believe that you have to fake it till you make it. I don't believe in that line at all. So when it comes to my page, I am 100% authentic. This is just who I am. And there's nothing that's pretentious, that's fake. It's just me working out. And literally I put my phone on a tripod and just record everything that I'm doing, be it like if I'm in the gym or if I'm eating something. It's nothing that's filtered or made up in a way that might, mislead people or might cheat people in any way. It's just me being myself. That's it.
So what was that like for you, right? Like, you'd post stuff, like you were saying, your Instagram is private. You were just posting for fun once in a while. Did you feel like apprehension in the beginning, or possibly even now, before posting something like, oh, am I doing this, in the right form? What are people going to think about me? And how did you kind of fight through that mindset and just be like, it's a learning process. I'm also learning, and I think this would be valuable for people.
Of course I did. So in the beginning, I think I was fairly open to just posting whatever I wanted, right? And then there came a stage where there were a lot of eyes, a lot of people watching, So everything that I put up on my Instagram, it has to be well read and well informed as well, right? I can't just put up any information out there without backing it up with
Right.
facts. So whenever I put a workout video or any kind of information, I make sure that I sort of cross check and then put it up. But yeah, I mean, it was a little difficult, honestly, in the beginning because like your whole life is out there, it's not
Yeah.
easy. And you're also open to a lot of criticism. So there are people who will
Mm.
randomly just start messaging me about my form, and maybe some people are polite, but some are actually really rude. And I'm just like, like I'm not some like fitness pro or like an expert. I'm just somebody sharing my journey. That's it.
Mm.
So yeah, it's been a little difficult. But I guess, and then in between, there came a stage where I became a little too conscious of social media, the kind of likes that I was getting, the kind of traction that I was getting. So when I get into a
Mm.
situation like that, I just sort of take a back seat and I'm like, okay, Instagram can wait a little bit. It's obviously like
Yeah.
taking a mental toss. So that's when I just like zone out a bit, gather my thoughts and then come back on Instagram again. So that again, I'm 100%, authentic. I'm not faking anything just to get likes because that's not okay. So, yeah.
So these checks and balances you kind of set for yourself that look, at the end of the day, I'm still like posting about my journey, or this is like I'm not trying to filter it too much. So is there like a balance you have to kind of find between posting factual information and keeping it like somewhat value for your audience and stuff, while also keeping to your journey? How do you kind of like find that balance between the two?
So for me, because I'm also learning and educating myself, Instagram works like a
Mm.
diary for me. So whatever I'm learning in the
Nice.
process, I'm sharing it, with the people who are following me. So it's almost like, so as I'm going along my journey, I'm also informing other people about the things that I'm learning. It's just, how that works. So yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you said something interesting, right? You said you kind of view it as your diary, where you're like,
Yeah.
I mean, using it as a diary.
Yeah.
What are kind of the benefits you've seen of doing that, and what are some of the negatives of using Instagram as your diary?
Negatives, I don't think honestly I've experienced any negatives so far, other than the fact that sometimes I get a little too caught up in like the whole likes and sharing and being
Mm.
popular on Instagram. But
Right.
the benefits, I feel like mentally also it's good for me in a way that,
Mm.
it's also helping me in a way where I am putting my thoughts out there. I am putting my journey out there. And when
Mm.
you get like positive feedback from people, it also motivates you to do better. So the negatives, I don't think there have been as such so far, but the benefits being that I am highly motivated because I have a bunch of people following me and a bunch of people who
Nice.
believe in me. So that means that I
Mm.
also have to like step up and constantly keep evolving and growing as well.
Nice, and that's cool. You also said something that like that it mentally you feel like an outlet for you to kind of talk about things that you may be thinking about. But and on that, right? Like obviously you've taken fitness as a method of your outlet, and not only because it's something that's working for you on Instagram, because you
Yeah.
genuinely do enjoy it. If
Yeah.
you, let's say, didn't choose fitness, would you have like another interest or passion, or do you think that this is not something you'd be able to keep up with just because you enjoy working out and stuff on a regular basis? Like, what do you think is your motivation to keep going on now? Is it purely because you're passionate about fitness and you're learning new things, or do the likes and comments and stuff also like kind of contribute to your decision to keep moving forward with this?
Honestly, it's just my passion because I know that
Yeah.
mentally it's helped me so much, and physically, of course, like, the benefits are known to everyone. It's just that sometimes you don't act on it because you get
You
lazy.
got some gains now.
Yeah. So yeah, so it's just worked as
Nice.
a mentally beneficial factor as well as physical. So both ways.
Yeah. So, you talked about how mentally it's helped you, physically it's helped you, and allowed you to connect with a wider audience. What do you see as being the monetization aspect of this? Is this something which is, you've looked at, and is it something that you see building over time? Are you building yourself as a brand? Is this allowed you to, partner up with other companies and products and such like that? So, talk about your experience with that whole part of this whole influencer game.
Okay, so of course, when I did decide to make my page public, I did do a little bit of research. So what I'm creating
Mm,
right now is, of course, in the long run, I want my own branding. Having said that, right now, I'm
nice.
still somebody who's fairly new in the industry. So for me, right now, brand endorsements work well. And there are a lot of people who've been getting in touch, say, for example,
Mm,
nutrition brands who want to sort of tie up where, it works as a barter system where they send in their products, they give me a certain discount, and then I promote their product. But even if I'm taking on
mm,
a brand collaboration, I make sure that I do my research and I believe in the brand. I will not just
nice.
like look at the money and how much, or just the monetary advantages, but other than that, I would
Mm,
also want to see what the brand is about, what they believe in, all of that. So yeah, so I think it's something that I'm exploring as my page is growing. Um, Having said that, I don't want to have too many brands on board as well, because eventually I would like my name to be a brand. So it's more of a lifestyle that I'm basically
mm.
promoting. Yeah.
And so coming to that, right? Like, you didn't always do this, right? And obviously this wasn't paying the bills. You worked as a stylist within companies and as a freelancer. Has that impacted, or has any had any impact through your Instagram page and, growing this fitness following? Do you see, both of these different abilities, hobbies, or skill sets that you have kind of merging together? And what has been your experience doing, having this styling background, and building this Instagram page? Has it
Yeah.
impacted it at all?
So it's actually crazy because I've studied fashion communication from NIFT, which involved me learning styling, me learning graphic designing. I feel
Mm,
like because I was in NIFT for 4 years, I've developed my own aesthetic. So when it comes to my own Instagram, the kind of posts that I'm creating, the kind of text that I'm using, the kind of colors that I'm
mm,
using, it's all very well thought of in my head, because I've learned that, and I've also learned that on the job as a stylist. To say, for
got
example,
you.
if a brand sends me products for promotion, then I know how to style them, how to make them
Mm,
aesthetically appealing,
Look
to put
nice.
them up on my page as a post or a story. So I feel like everything is just going hand in hand, and it's going perfectly fine, because like people like me, say for example, who launch these pages, they end up hiring a marketing agency where they need people to
Mm.
do their social
mm,
media for them. But I feel like because I've been in that background, I can do it myself, and create my own aesthetic, because that's what I do.
nice.
So I think everything's just gone beautifully, together for me. Yeah,
They're like complement your skill sets are like complemented each other and stuff to
exactly.
create
Yeah.
this monster
Yeah,
influencer vibes. Nice.
exactly.
So and talk us a little bit about, like, where you are at, or where do you think you're at in this fitness journey of yours, right? Like, let's put the influencer or the Instagram page aside for a
Yeah.
second. Is there kind of like an end goal, or is it just to stay mentally and physically fit? Are you trying to, like, get to a point where, you're either training people, or you're, a part of something, maybe like an athletic division or something like that? Or what is your kind of objective with building your own fitness and stuff like that?
Yeah, so the thing with fitness is that there's never an end. You can just keep getting fitter and fitter
Mm,
and fitter, and keep gaining more strength and more power and all of that. So I feel like
mm,
my fitness journey will be ongoing for the rest of my life. So honestly, there's no like full stop to it. And yeah, it's just, again, as my journey goes along, I just keep sharing my experiences and my journey online, basically. Yeah. There's another
both
question
good
that
and
you
bad,
asked,
right? Like,
no? Yeah, both good and bad, of course.
See,
I don't believe
mm,
in sharing only the good. I feel like Instagram is a little flawed like that, because a lot of people just end up,
mm,
sharing their positive side. And that's why when I'm feeling low or I'm going through something, I make sure that people know, because so that they can relate to it as well. We're not always happy and full of energy to work out. There are days when I sulk as well. Like, I don't want to work out. I just want to be lazy and just like eat junk, right? But I make sure that I put it out there as much as I can, because it's not always that you're just happy and like how Instagram makes it out to be. So I think it's important to share the negative and the positive.
So like that's really interesting, right? Like, I think that's something like I've seen on your Instagram as well, is that you're it's definitely like a lot about your fitness and when you're working on stuff, but you don't shy away from like posting when you don't feel like doing shit, or you're like staying in bed or whatever, aren't feeling that great, which is the normal things that people go through, especially when we're at home all the time. Was that something that you had to take like a conscious decision to do, or were you just like, fuck it, this is my like life, I'm going to kind of talk about it? Or like how do you again, like, is that something you have to make a decision about, or how did you kind of decide to do that?
Honestly, it just happens naturally, because that's what I'm saying. When I decided to make my page public last year, I knew that everything has to be as it is, as I'm feeling. You know what I mean? Like, there's no like, I don't need to hide anything or or be have a show a certain personality, but I'm always happy on Instagram and I always have my shit together, because that's not real life. So it's honestly come very naturally to me, and I'm not scared of people judging me or being like, oh, just because she's into fitness, like look at what she's eating. It's one day I decide to eat junk. Like, dude, I'm a normal human being. People need to understand that. And it's not like I'm going to some bodybuilding competition that I need to be on like 10% body fat. No, this is just a lifestyle that has to be sustainable in the long run. I know I'm healthy, I know that I'm doing good. And every day, I have my routine set where I'm working out 5 to 6 times a week and all of that. That doesn't mean that I don't enjoy eating junk food or I don't enjoy drinking. I still do all of that, but I just know where to put a line. And I also know, when to take it easy and when to go hard. That's it.
Nice.
Also, like, how important do you think it is to interact with these people who, maybe not all the people who actually give you hate, obviously, but like generally, how often do you interact with your audience? Or like, do you find that important to do besides to obviously what you're posting, but like other ways of doing that?
So this is a little funny, because I mostly interact with a lot of women. When it comes to men, unfortunately, on Instagram, they can get really creepy.
Yes.
So you know how there's your message request section. So I can choose the people that I want to have a conversation with. And I mean, there are a lot of men on my profile that I have conversations with on a weekly basis, but they're just really, really nice, genuine people who are interested and are also passionate about fitness. But so I do interact with a lot of people. I interact with people who have genuine questions. I will not interact with people who ask me questions like, why does your head move so much when you're skipping? Like, like, or things like recently somebody said, don't you have a terrace? Why don't you work out on a terrace? I'm like, what do I say to a person who
why don't you work out on a terrace? What's wrong with you?
Obviously, like, I don't have a terrace, and maybe that's why. So these are the kind of questions that I just let them sit in my inbox and they eventually get to read it. But if people have genuine questions, like they just want to know, for example, where my skipping rope is, or how they should lose, fat, or the kind of fitness routine that they have, the kind of food that they should be eating, anything fitness related, discipline related, I'm more than happy to answer.
And you're studying all of this, right, as well, so you can give people advice that's actually backed by correct information?
Yeah, exactly. So I am currently studying, and I have to say it's extremely hard for a person like me, because I've gone from like fashion and the creative industry, and now all of a sudden I'm like studying like science and biology. So it's honestly been hard, but that's the aim. I definitely want to be certified. Not because I want to be a personal trainer, just because I want to be well informed. And when I'm growing my page on Instagram, I want people to have that faith also, that it's just not somebody who's talking out of experience, but there's also a certification backing me up. And eventually maybe I will get involved in group classes, maybe not one-on-one training because that's something that I was never, interested in as such. But yeah, maybe providing group classes, maybe providing plans. Let's see. Yeah.
That's cool.
As I said, I'm exploring as I'm growing.
Doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like the follower base that you have you seen that it's like it grows after you post a certain type of content? Like as it maybe jumped from, I don't know, 9,999 to 10K, to whatever 10K because of something you posted.
Yeah. So the thing with Instagram is that now because of Reels, there's that organic audience that you can reach. Because obviously you can't put money into Reels, right? So that's sort of been the silver lining with Instagram, that now you have Reels where you can promote yourself and people can find you. And if Instagram likes a certain reel, then they end up putting it on their homepage, and then you get a number of likes and followers. Recently, I think I grew like 300 followers just because a few of my reels had gone completely viral. So so honestly, now I've reached a point where I've also currently stopped putting in money into Instagram at the moment, because I'm reaching a good audience to my reels. And also promotions are honestly right now, or even earlier, the only reason why I was putting in money is because there's so many people on Instagram that now you have to put in money so that you're seen by other people. Otherwise, your followers will never increase. If you're somebody
It's
new, if you're
competitive.
just it's very competitive. And if you have, like, say you're just growing and you only have 2,000, 3,000 followers, you will never reach beyond 10,000, maybe because your profile will just not be seen. It'll be lost. There's so many people now on Instagram promoting themselves as influencers, or, just promoting their own pages.
So talk about that a bit. I mean, like, what is your, like, do you have a posting schedule that you stick to? Are there specific things that, if I post this, I will get at least X amount of views? And is there any sort of process that you have while creating this content, and, where you're going to post it, what time you're going to post it, or anything like that?
So now roughly I do have an idea, and my audience, I think anything in the morning, say for example, like a 12 to lunchtime slot works perfectly fine, or then it's like a 8 to 9 o'clock slot. But having said that, Instagram can be a little random as well. On certain days, even if I'm posting in the evening, it just won't reach a good amount of people. Same way with my stories. Now, of late, my stories have been reaching 3,000 plus people, but for like a month, it was only reaching my regular like 1,500 or maybe less than that. So Instagram like that has been a little tricky. I don't have any plan as such, because again, for me, Instagram is something that I've just been, using as a diary. The minute I feel like I'm being pressured and I have to, make a post, I feel like I lose my authenticity. So for me, because I also need to keep my mental health in check, I feel like I only post when I really want to post, and that's working fine for me. The minute I feel like I'm getting pressured into posting something, then I end up posting trash,
So and just on that, right? Like, you use Instagram as obviously your primary, or maybe your only, like, social media profile. Have you explored other applications? Do you think there are any other big ones in India? Like, obviously we don't have TikTok, but there's all these other alternatives to it. Have you ever explored those? YouTube, anything like that?
No, honestly, I think right now Instagram is quite taxing in itself. But I was planning
Facebook.
on Facebook. I personally have completely stopped using Facebook. I don't think anyone goes on Facebook anymore. I've
You'll
been
be
completely
surprised.
moved on to
There's a lot
I've
of
just
people
been
in India. There's a
using
lot of people.
I don't think it's our generation though, but maybe.
So Instagram has been working for me. Other than that, I did plan on going on YouTube, and somewhere I'm still thinking if I should or should not. But YouTube would be the next sort of
this will be on YouTube, so this can be your introduction to YouTube.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Your first YouTube video.
Yeah. As a feature
with all the bloopers.
Yeah.
Okay. So cool. So if a brand wants to get in touch with you, how do they do that? If somebody wants your help, how do they do that? What's your Instagram handle, and what do you kind of how would you kind of help them? Just talk a little bit about anybody who would like to reach out to you and stuff.
So my Instagram handle is Devika_Vahal. I haven't kept any fancy names like Devika Fit or Devika Vahal Fit. It's just Devika_Vahal by my name. And for any fitness related advice, or if any brands want to get in touch with me, you can directly message me on my Instagram handle, and I'll be more than happy to help you out.
Awesome. Devika, thank you so much for joining our podcast. It was really awesome listening to you and hearing some of your stories. And guys, please go ahead and follow Devika. There's a lot to learn from her Instagram. There's a lot that she talks about. I think it's super valuable for anybody who's either starting out or who wants to be a part of her fitness journey.
Thank you, guys. This was fun.
Thanks.